Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 8, episode 18, the finale of the season. So let's get into it. Y'all know sometimes before we get into it, we get a little spicy over here, okay? And I got 3 things to talk about. First up is Robinita supposedly, allegedly, possibly being fired or let go or choosing to leave the cast. So it says this. It says exclusive, and this is coming from the Jasmine brand. You already know the links will be linked below. So it says exclusive, Robin Dixon allegedly not returning to Real Housewives of Potomac after 8 seasons. It says the Jasmine brand exclusively reports that Robin Dixon is allegedly leaving Real Housewives of Potomac. The reality star who joined the Bravo series in its debut season back in 2016 may still make appearances on the show in the future, we have learned. She may return for future seasons. It says the news comes after Candace Dillard has announced her exit after 6 seasons. It says Robin has been a staple on the show since its inception. Over the years, fans saw her and her ex-husband Juan Dixon rekindle their romance and navigate tough losses and financial downfalls. There's more to it, but honestly, what else do we need to get from that? So they're alleging that Robin is leaving. I don't know how true that is, but there's so much speculation online. And if you watch the Brooke Ashley, I enjoy her content. I'll put her stuff on the screen so you can check her out. She actually went to the Summer House Martha's Vineyard. They had a premiere party and Candace was there as well as Charisse. And she said that Candace told her that like everybody was in limbo, that like none of the ladies got their contracts back. So it seems like maybe Robin was fired or let go, or maybe she did the same thing as Candace, which was choose to not be a part of the next season, but no one really knows. Honestly, if Robin's not there, I'm not distraught by it. Would I have liked her to continue? Yes, but I wanted to see Robin without Giselle. I wanted to see, would she act differently without Giselle? Would she try to move forward with the ladies with the dynamic of the group change? But if she's leaving, I guess it just leaves Giselle. So I wonder if Giselle is going to have to learn how to get along with the other ladies without her best friend being a constant there. So next up, let's talk about Miss Candace. Y'all, Candace is doing us so dirty. She doing us so dirty, y'all. She doing us so dirty. So this was announced earlier this morning by People magazine. And I'm just going to briefly read it and read what she said. It is a pretty lengthy article, but the link will be in the description box below. But it goes, Candace Dillard Bassett exits Real Housewives of Potomac after 6 seasons. I am filled with gratitude. This is not a farewell, but a see you later, the drive back singer tells People. It says Candace Dillard Bassett is saying goodbye to Real Housewives of Potomac. The singer who joined the series in season 3 tells People exclusively that she won't be returning to the reality series for the upcoming 9th season. As I embark on this new chapter, after 6 of remarkable years on with Real Housewives of Potomac, I am filled with gratitude for the enriching friendships, personal growth, and moments of introspection that have defined this journey. Dillard, 37, says, with a whirlwind of new opportunities and responsibilities on my plate, I have decided to take a break from RHOP. She goes on to tease that the exit might only be temporary, noting this is not a farewell, but a see you later. The drive back songstress ends her note with a message of thanks to her fans. Your unwavering support has been my guiding light, and I look forward to the exciting adventures that lie ahead, and more importantly, sharing them all with you, she says. It says Dillard Bassett's departures after the fractured season of RHOP that saw her at odds with OG cast members and former friends Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon. It remains unclear whether any were able to mend fences at the reunion. The trailer, which People premiered Friday, showed Dillard doubling down on her feelings toward Dixon, calling her a loser, and standing by the insults she had thrown towards Bryant throughout the year. It says Bravo famously does not comment on casting, but a source close to people confirmed two people. Oh, my bad, you guys. Bravo famously does not comment on casting, but a source close to production confirmed to People Dillard Bassett made the choice to leave the franchise on her own. So there's a lot more to it, but if you would like to read it for yourself, again, the link will be down in the description bar below. So here's my thoughts. Ugh. Am I a candy cane? No, I'm not. Am I a stand of Candace? No. But do I enjoy her on the show? Yes. I will say she was one of the main reasons that I continued watching the show after season 5. So her leaving is bittersweet because I do think the environment is no longer conducive for her anymore, because everybody, even fans included, stay blaming her for everything. And anytime she does anything, it is hella critiqued. And I also think with her wanting to start a family, she probably was worried that that would hinder the process if that's what's happening next for her. So I don't fault her for leaving. If it is temporary, I can see Candace coming back maybe for like season 12. Yeah, I can see her sitting out like 3 seasons and then coming back for season 12. Wouldn't that be 4? No, that's 3. That's 3. Y'all had to think about it. I like season 12 and then coming back, and maybe she will be a mom, or maybe her career will be doing well. But there's no like I say in my other videos, some people don't respect those that do reality TV. And with Candace wanting to be taken seriously about her music and her acting, maybe this is the best choice. And maybe the Lisa Rinna effect will happen to her. I did a chitty chat about that, so check it out. It's in the playlist. I was wondering, I said, will Candace have the Lisa Rinna effect? Because ever since Lisa Rinna left Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she's been doing great. She was on American Horror Story. She's about to be in a movie for a Lifetime. Like, she's been at more A-lister events and B-list. So, like, she's being welcomed back into, like, Hollywood. And I wonder if that's what's going to happen for Candace. And I hope it does, because she seems to be working really hard. So my wish for her is that anything that she sets her mind to, I hope it happens for her. Same thing for Robin. Am I that like sad about Robin leaving? Not really. But I hope whatever she wants to accomplish beyond the show, that happens for her. So let's talk about Karen. Let's talk about Miss Karen. I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to summarize it for you. But again, the link for this article will be in the description bar below, or box below, if you would like to read it for yourself. So it's coming by way of TMZ. The article title says, RHOP star Karen Huger reeked of booze after the crash, according to cops. So basically, a summary of what it said is that Karen refused a breathalyzer. She also refused to do a sobriety test. When the police finally got to the scene, they were called there because a neighborhood security guard saw the crash actually happen. And so they called the police. And like I said, Karen refused a sobriety test. She also refused a breathalyzer. The cop said she reeked of alcohol. She had 2 closed, emphasis on clothes, so she didn't open them, 2 closed bottles of Stella. So, we all know Stella Rosa in the car with her. Hopefully they were in the back seat and not the front seat. The ambulance, they called for an ambulance because it is a crash. So first responders, like the fire department came. They tried to get Karen to sit on a stretcher. She said no. They tried to ask her, did she need any medical care? And she refused. And then she was upset because the police officer told her that he had on a body cam and Karen didn't want to be filmed. So they actually took her down to the station, and that is where she was given or booked for all those citations. And then Ray came and picked her up. Now, I'm still kind of confused how she didn't get arrested, because I'm like, if you smell of alcohol, you got liquor in the car, even though it's closed, and then you got into a crash and you're refusing a breathalyzer, you're refusing to do a standard sobriety test and all of that stuff. And I know some people say it's good to refuse it because it can't be used against you in court, which is true because that's evidence, but it's not a good look, Karen. It's not a good look. And it's like, the more time goes on, the worse it seems and the worse it's getting. Hopefully, like I told y'all, if I was Karen, either I would sit out for next season, or or I would immediately when the season starts just own what happened. Or girl, I would check myself into rehab right now while we on the off season, so then when we show up next season I could be like, I went to rehab, I got my life in order, try to get ahead of the curve. Now what's interesting is because Robin and Candace are going now, it seems like the word on the curve is that, so like we're about to hear announcements from Ashley and Wendy, and it's seeming like the only people that would be left, it seems like it's going to be Mia, Giselle, and Karen, and possibly NECA. And if that happens, I don't know, because Karen will be at odds with all of, like, I don't know. No, Giselle might not try her since Karen was there for her during the passing of her father and all of that stuff. But maybe they're going to add new people. But again, I honestly think Karen can only do three things. Either you sit out for season 9, you own it when you get there, or you go to rehab and own it as well. Either way, girl, not a good look, but we glad you still here, but you got to get it together, Karen, because there's no excuses. But let's get into this review. So let's talk about this. So the episode opens up where it left off, where we know the mics are, everyone still has on their mic, but the cameras are down. And we hear Deborah approach Candace, and she's like, Candace, is there anything we need to talk about? And Candace is like, girl, absolutely not. Get the help away from me. Mind you, Deborah did this last season at Karen's, I don't know, extravaganza, whatever it was. It was her variety show where she was trying to talk to, Deborah was trying to talk to Candace. And Candace was giving her very much like, we don't need this talk. I know where I stand with you. And you know where, like, we know what it is. We see each other. Like, I don't need to speak to you. And then Ashley in the background, don't be dismissive, Candace. Like, you were itching for them to have a conversation. And the lady doesn't want to talk to you. So you're doing it again. So the cameras are down, but their mics are still on. So that's why we could hear the conversation. Kiarna interjects and she's like, she was like, we don't need to do this. Like, this ain't the place to do this. And then Kiarna asks, is that your friend? And then next thing you know, you hear, stop, which is Ashley. So I have a more detailed breakdown. It's one of the drama videos. I'll put it on the screen. It's in my the drama playlist, but I'll put the link in the description bar below. But I did a breakdown when the episode, not the episode, but when the TMZ article came out with the clip, and I also got screenshots of what Deborah was saying online. So check that out if you really want to know what was happening during that time. But pretty much, like, the lady don't want to speak to you. So next thing you know, if you look at the video, and I'm about to blitz through it, Candace does this, like, kind of like, girl, I'm done talking to you. Mind you, there's a table in between them and a horde of people around them. So they were nowhere near each other. So nobody can say that Candace put her hand in that lady's face, because she didn't, because it was a table. Candace was on one end and Deborah was on the opposite end, and she was surrounded by other people. So Candace does this and she goes back to dancing because she's like, I'm done talking to you. So then Deborah reaches over, pours her drink onto Candace, purposely tries to pour it in the lady's hair. So then Candace turns around and grabs the champagne bottle because she like, girl, what's up? Because I already got beat up on season 5. It ain't happening again. So what's good? And then you got Ashley going like, no. So then Charisse grabs the bottle and takes it out of Candace's hand like, we not doing that. We're not going to jail like the brat. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, sis. So what made Kiarna and Deborah start fighting is when Deborah was pouring the drink, onto Candace. I think she elbowed Kiarna in the face because she did it. You see Wendy push Deborah's hand up, and then you see Kiarna like shove Deborah's arm away, and then she muffed Deborah. So then Deborah retaliated with the cup in her hand and dinked Kiarna dead center in the middle of her head. And then they got to tussling. And when I tell you, like they said, Kiarna from Baltimore, them girls is built different. She was swinging. That lady was swinging, like really swinging on Deborah. So NECA is like, oh my gosh, like trying to stop. You even see Jacqueline trying to do the same thing. Then Ashley's raggedy friend in the yellow or the green, I don't know what color that was. I don't care. It's neon and it was ugly. She grabs the back of Kiarna's head and yanks her to the ground. like forcibly yanks her to the ground with a glass in hand, like her drink in hand, and just yanks her to the ground. So once they were on the ground, that's when it was easier for them to break them apart. Mind you, when they were fighting, security had already ran up over there trying to separate them. So it was like, even if you were trying to help stop the fight, the girl in the yellow or green or whatever in the neon, she should have grabbed Deborah. Don't be grabbing the person your friend is fighting with, because then I'm gonna feel like you trying to jump them, because that's jumping behavior. Like if you was really trying to stop a fight, you should have grabbed your friend and not the person they're fighting with. Like it was feeling like y'all was trying to jump that lady. So once they get on the floor, you see Ashley's hairstylist, Corey, who Ashley was talking about, how did it escalate that fast? What happened? And he's like, well, Deborah's saying one of Wendy's friends touched her. And I'm like, after your friend poured a drink on somebody. And so Deborah's up against the wall. You got Mia over there talking about, think about your kids. Like, do you really want to do this? Once they got Kiarna up, they ushered her to the bathroom. So she in the bathroom with Wendy and Karen. Karen put on her matriarch mother hat. She said, we need to call the ambulance, or somebody screamed, we need to call the ambulance. Wendy was frantic. She was like, Deborah poured a drink on Candace. And then she hit Kiarna. Like, it was a lot. And I think, it was good that Karen told Wendy, like, you kind of making this about yourself, calm down. But I think that the adrenaline was pumping into Wendy, because she was like, probably ain't never seen nobody really fight like this. So she was like, my God. And then to see her friend get clocked in the face and they were standing right next to each other. Like, that is like, even if you see fights, you're going to be like, really, did that just happen? So they're in the bathroom. Kiarna has paper towels on her head because her head is bleeding. And like she said, she messed in my face because Kiarna is pretty. Like, that face card is never declining on that lady. She is pretty. So I was like, girl, I'd have been mad too. So Kiarna even confirms in her confessional that she pushed Deborah's arm because she was pouring a drink on Candace. And Deborah even confirms that she was purposely pouring a drink on Candace because she's trash. Okay? She's immature trash. She a clown. The lady is a clown. So so then you got Sharice holding Candace. You have Mia and NECA telling Candace to calm down, because Candace is calling that girl Grover or Roach. I said Candace wasn't going deep enough for me, because when I tell you, I would have started getting real nasty to the point where Deborah would have wanted to turn around and fight me, and I'd have been ready for her. Because how dare you, bro? Like, how dare you come in here on some BS? Because it was clear as day that Deborah came there to have an issue. If you look at Deborah's attire compared to everybody else, Deborah had on a bodysuit and some leggings, and it looked like boots or sneakers. Everybody else had on cute little dresses or a nice little pants outfit, but Deborah has on that. So it's giving you came there to be on that stuff, to be with the ish. So Kiarna's in the bathroom. Everyone's like freaking out. Candace goes to the bathroom, and then Wendy is like, I think she wants all of us to leave. And Kiarna's like, yes, just leave so I can get myself together. Like, she was on the phone. She was probably either calling her man, her mama, if she got siblings, because the first person I'm calling is my sister. And so she's like, all right, she's collecting herself, and everyone's just like, for real though, like it's not that deep for it to get that physical. So Ashley is chasing after Deborah, being like, Deborah, what happened? Like, you weren't standing there and you didn't see your friend do that. Are you serious, Ashley? So then Deborah's like, me and Candace were arguing, and she kept calling me to help. So, I had a little bit of drink left in my class, so I poured it in her hair. Like, I didn't throw it. It doesn't make it any better. You still threw it on her, so you're admitting that you assaulted her, because in some states, pouring anything on anyone is assault. And she said, and then her friend was like, so then her friend hit me, and you're not just going to hit me and I'm not going to do anything. And I'm like, so you're admitting that you initiated the fight by pouring a drink on somebody, and you thought you wasn't going to get touched? You really thought you weren't going to get touched, even though you're admitting you poured a drink onto somebody. And Ashley is okay. And Ashley hears this and she's okay with it, because then she outside with some weirdo lady named Cookie, who's Karen's friend, who's like, well, the other girl shouldn't have got in it. Cookie, shut up. And so Ashley's like, Deborah's my friend.
So
Deborah's my
Ashley's
friend.
outside.
Outside being like, Deborah's my friend. And I've been in rooms with people I don't like. I didn't know the tension between Deborah and Candace was that deep. You're a liar. Ashley really earned the name Trashly last night because you are a liar, because there is no reason that you didn't know what was up. That lady lied on Chris and Eddie. So why would Candace be cool with her? On top of that, she's been harassing Candace and Chris online. Like, I did spicy corners about it, as well as I think I did one the drama video where she had posted this thing talking about TikTok, like she can't wait to see Candace because they are gonna see each other and she got things to say. She did that one weirdo video where she had the two puppets and was eating a cookie. Like, so you know your friend has issues because she took the extra mile to do all of that stuff. So what are you talking about, Ashley? Like, you know that lady, that lady had issues with Candace. Like, and that's why people think you set her up. Now Ashley online trying to defend herself because she had this one video, she posted it today. It's with that TikTok sound, all that work, and what did it get me? That's from Glee. Shout out to all my Glee kids. And I think the caption was like 8 seasons. I always use my mouth, never my hands, and now I'm being blamed for a fight. You are, because you doubled down in your confessionals and you were trying so hard to shift all the blame onto Candace that it looks like you wanted an issue. It looks like you wanted Candace to be the problem, and it was really your homegirl. So the next day, it's like 2 days after the situation, after the fight, they're at the Monarch event. Karen pull up with security. I guess Karen said, ain't nobody running up on me. We then see that Cookie lady with Karen. They talking trash about Sharice. Sharice comes down to the event. She got a boot on with her 2 kids. And they like, girl, why does Sharice have on a boot? Did she have on a boot last time? And Karen is just like, I don't know. So at the table with Karen and Cookie, Crystal is sitting there. That is Candace's sister. She's actually really nice. I spoke to her on Twitter Spaces when they were really popular. Like, she cool. And so she's sitting there. Ashley walks down the steps. Crystal look at Ashley like, ugh. Like, she wants, like, but like, it was a look like, oh, we got things to talk about. So then Ashley hugs Crystal. Then Cookie asks Ashley, like, girl, how come we haven't spoken? Like, I've been reaching out to you to see if you were okay. And Karen was like, I think she just needed to process everything that happened. So now Ashley is talking about, like, she's distancing herself from Deborah because Deborah's online doubling down on what happened. Like, actually, like, promoting it, like, gleefully doing that video where she was like, with her playing with her ponytail, her thin ponytail at that, and going, like her face wasn't messed up. And I was like, okay, you like 30 something years old and doing that? Yeah, you're a clown. Big clown. Big clown. So then next thing you know, I think Kyle and Kyle and Giselle show up. But before Kyle and Giselle show up, Ashley and Karen were looking at their photos. And then none of them really liked their photos. Honestly, it looked like some Party City stuff. Like, it wasn't giving what they thought. I think the magazine thought it was giving. I didn't really like anybody's pictures because you really couldn't tell who they were, minus Ashley. Everybody else, I was just kind of like, okay. But we find out that Mia was the one that picked the pictures. And then Karen lies saying that, Mia said Robin looked like a dog. And Ashley's like, did she? And she said, no, girl. Karen gonna always give Robin that work. So Giselle and Kyle get there. Kyle irritated me so badly, bro. Because during season 5, he was all for, yeah, use your words. We too old to be fighting. But now we're in season 8 and you're like, Candace needs to learn, like, if you're going to keep talking, you got to be ready for whatever. Yeah, you're a loser too, because you're only saying that because Giselle and her have issues. And even if my friend had issues, I wouldn't change my views about a situation or my morals about how I feel about people doing what they do. So Sharice goes over there with her boot. They're like, girl, what happened? And Sharice pretty much said somebody stepped on her toe while they were fighting. She said, my toe already broke before. And like, I noticed someone had scuffed my pinky toe because I had skid marks on my nail polish. So I got to put this boot on to stabilize my foot. Sharice actually gives an accurate like depiction of what happened. She said they were arguing, then Deborah threw her drink onto Candace, and then the fight ensued. Ashley's lying, saying, well, from Deborah's recollection, Candace and Wendy were talking about her, calling her vermin and trash. Giselle is like, that mouth. Giselle, your mouth is nasty too. So somebody pop you in your shit too? Okay. So she's like, that mouth. And before they even got into this, Karen and Giselle had a moment where Karen was like, Giselle, how's your dad? We found out that Giselle's dad was out of the surgery in the ICU, but unfortunately, we know he passed away. So RIP to Giselle's daddy. So back to the situation. So pretty much, Kyle is saying that Candace needs to be prepared for anything with her mouth. Ashley is saying Deborah said she heard that, and then when she tried to confront them, Deborah was like, you saying all this stuff, but you're not saying it to my face. Deborah did not say that. Deborah said, Candace, is there anything we need to talk about? She didn't say that lady called her vermin. She didn't say that lady called her that, and if she did, whatever. You purposely lied on that lady's husband, tried to alter her reality with that relationship by saying her husband was ogling you, and he wasn't. Deborah is like, she's a weirdo. She's a weirdo, and Ashley is the ringleader of the weirdos. Because first of all, Deborah only thought that was gonna work is because she's either mixed or light skinned with quote unquote like good hair. But the truth of the matter is, she don't realize she looked like a 1995 pixelated, like off-brand version of like a Pixar movie. She looked like a Pixar reject from 1995. Like them thick ass eyebrows. She always looking like that. Girl, you're not cute. You're not cute. Like, you're really not. And you thought it was going to work because you thought you was that girl. And I think what's bothering you is you realize that everybody is calling you ugly. And that's what the issue is. Everyone's calling you ugly and it bothers you. Well, we wouldn't be calling you ugly if you didn't we wouldn't be calling you ugly, weird looking, Sesame Street, weird brat. We wouldn't be calling you none of that. Had you not brought you know what onto this cast, purposely lying on people because you wanted to be a part of this. Like, thirstiness and desperation is not a good look on anybody, and it shows on you, ma'am. Very much so. You played yourself, and that's what you need to be mad at. Like Karen said, Deborah's anger is misplaced. Deborah need to be mad at herself. Deborah, because you getting played by production, and you played yourself even harder. Even harder. So that's what happened with that. We see Robin pull up. Robin says she was still at the event, but she didn't see what happened. She was like off to the side, and then she realized melee happened. And then she tries to blame it on Candace as well by saying, well, it sucks that Kiarna got hurt fighting somebody else's battle. You weren't there. You should have just kept it to, I wasn't there and I didn't know what happened. Unless you actually watched the video. And if you saw the video and you saw that lady purposely pour a drink on the Candace, then you should have been like, Deborah shouldn't have been there if she was going to be on that type of time. Same with everybody. And the crazy thing is, had that video not been out or the audio, they would have deliberately blamed all of this on Candace, making her the person that was aggressive when Ashley brung her weird looking friend to the party to be on that type of time. And that blew me. That's when I got really irritated because I'm just like, y'all have no loyalty to each other. Like, I guarantee on any other cast, I feel as though, like, even if they have infighting, if an outsider were to come in and start something, they would all band together. It's like when I used to work in retail, it was a couple of coworkers I didn't like. But if a customer was coming at them crazy, I was on my coworker's side and vice versa. They was on my side. And we was corroborating each other's stories. Like, it was never going to be like, it was always us versus them. And that's how the cast should be. But the fact that they're not like that, I think it's a good thing that people are getting fired or choosing to leave or walking away or giving their pink slips, because this is not cute. It's not cute. So Wendy finally gets there. I hated her outfit and I hated her hair. She gets there with Eddie. We then see Mia gets there with her whole entire family. And then I think that was like the last. Oh, Nneka. Nneka actually looked really good. I'm not going to lie. Her body looked good. The hair was cute. I said, okay, Nneka, I see you. And so everybody's at the party now. And so we see a conversation between Candace got there. Candace, Karen, Wendy, and Mama Dot, where Wendy said, we gonna have a conversation with Ashley. We gonna make sure she feel comfortable, but we gonna have a conversation with her because that was unacceptable. And that's when Karen says, yeah, Deborah's anger was misplaced. And then Candace was like, she looking for a moment, and I wasn't trying to give her one. And then that's when Wendy is like, the vibe is off because we was all at the hospital till 4 a.m. with Kiarna. So then we see a scene where Ashley is wondering, like, she really wants to talk to Kiarna, but Kiarna not really talking to Ashley, or nobody's telling her what's going on with Kiarna. And Robin says she reached out to Kiarna, and Kiarna in the text messages, she said, thank God I have like a med spa, but she seems to be in high spirits. And I'm just like, Kiarna, if I was you, girl, I would have showed up to the party like quad with a bandage on top of my forehead and somebody willing me in to drive home that Ashley ain't ish. Okay, and to let production know, oh, y'all paying for this because you got me in a hostile work environment by way of your employee. So they're still at the party, and Wendy pretty much is like, we need to have a conversation with Ashley. But while the conversation that Wendy, Candace, Mama Dot, and Karen are having, Crystal pulls Ashley aside and basically checked her, being like, is that the type of people you be around? Like, you really had that lady around my sister knowing what type of time she's on. Ashley's like, no, like I've never seen that side of Deborah. We're just play date friends. But last time she was your best friend the other day. So now y'all just play date friends and you never seen that side of her. And Crystal pretty much told Ashley, you ever put my sister in that type of environment again, I'm going upside your head. Because honestly, I think Crystal is the youngest. My little sister don't play about me, and I don't play about her. And I would have told Ashley, very nice, nasty, if I find out that you set this up, it's me and you. And that's just what it is. It's gonna be me and you. And if Ashley be like, are you threatening me? I'm like, no, I'm just letting you know what's up. Okay, so we have a sit down, and pretty much NECA and Ashley come over to the table while it was like I think it was Karen, Wendy, and then like there was Candace and also like Mia, and the next thing you know, you see Robin and Giselle come over, and then Sharice comes over, and then I think Eddie and Ike were over there at the table. And pretty much Wendy told Ashley, yo, it felt like a setup. And Ashley's like, what? And she's like, yeah, it felt like a setup. You brought Deborah around knowing what she was on. Your friend, like, I can't, like, and so then Ashley's like, no, because Karen is like, we're going to give you we're going to allow you to speak, and then we're going to tell you how we feel. So Ashley ends up saying that, like, what happened between two grown women. I'm sorry that happened to Kay. I didn't want that to happen. I brought Deborah, not thinking that, like, I thought everything was cool. We were all good. But like, I'm sorry about that. Then Karen tells Deborah, like, girl, you like broken trust because we went back to where we were during season 5, and we don't want to go back there, and you brought that lady around. So then that's when Wendy says, girl, it felt like a setup. Like, she was like, me, Kiarna, and even NECA was telling your friend to chill out, and she wouldn't chill out. So then NECA stands up for Ashley, and she's like, yeah, but I don't think we should blame Ashley for her friend's actions, because Ashley was really upset. Because then Mia chimes in, and Mia said, your homegirl, after she slept off that liquor, was online doubling down about what she did, and what she did was messed up. And then Ashley's like, yeah, and that's when NECA's like, well, Ashley was really upset about what she was doing online. And so Karen is like, girl, you brought her around, and it makes it seem like now you're okay with bringing people around that mean us all harm. And that's why everybody online is calling Ashley a liability, because why would you bring somebody around this group that was online threatening violence against your castmate, and you thought it was all good? Like, for real, Ashley. And that's why no one likes you, Trashly, because you messy. And all them people that tried to act like Ashley changed because she popped out 2 kids, girl, no. Y'all just allowed the whole motherhood thing to like gloss over how horrible of a person she is. Because that lady is anybody who blatantly lies when they see something in front of them happen and take place, I don't want that person around me. I don't want I don't want nobody like that around me, because that's a dangerous person on everything. That's a dangerous person. Like, Ashley was standing there the entire time, and when she was questioned, she was acting like she don't know what transpired. But you were there from the initiation of the argument to the pouring of the drink to the glass hitting Kiana in the face, and then your friend pulling that lady onto the ground, but you don't know what happened. Yeah, I wouldn't want that lady around me. So they basically toast about sisterhood. I said, that's not what this is, nor do I care. Then Giselle wanted to be shady about everybody reaching out to her. Honestly, I felt like she was throwing shade at Candace and Wendy, but lady, you said you don't like Wendy and you don't care what happened to her. So why are you thinking she would give you grace or empathy about what happened to your dad? And like Candace said, I can pray from you from afar. I'm not about to sit there and be fake and be like, oh, I'm sorry about what's happening to you. I'm going to pray for you and be like, I hope Giselle is okay, and I hope her family has the strength to power through this tumultuous time and keep it pushing. Because I know for a fact you wouldn't pray for me. So I'm not wasting my prayers on you or my well wishes. That's just how I would roll. So I was just like, Giselle, I understand you going through a tough time, but why are you expecting people to gloss over all the things that you did that were hurtful? Like, that's not how life works, bro. And you and Karen can get that way because you and Karen have known each other for like probably 10 plus years since y'all were kids. You don't know these women like that, so they're not going to easily gloss over the things that you have done to them just to be there for you. Plus, they probably don't think you would do it for them. So it ends with Mia and G giving a speech. We get the ladies' like final statements. For Candace, it says she is still focusing on heating up her career before taking her embryos off ice. Then for Wendy has self-released her talk show, Dr. Wendy Show, on YouTube, and she is hoping for new ventures. That is the final sticks, or that new ventures that finally stick. Robin, what did it say? Robin has signed a lease on her first Glow 30 location and hopes to open the doors in 2024. Good for Robin. It says, as for the world's opinion on her and Juan's marriage, the Dixons 100% don't care. Okay, Robin, whatever. For Karen, it says Karen is renovating her home in Surrey and hopes to open the doors in 2025. Girl, you might want to go to rehab as well. She also treated herself to a few upgrades for her triple 20 cosmetic tweaks. Mind you, why didn't we see Karen's 60th birthday? They had it in the trailer. Why did they cut that out? She been talking about her triple 20s. Why didn't we get to see it? For Giselle, she officially launched GNA in a clothing line with Ashley. And then they say, sadly, unfortunately, Giselle's father, Curtis, passed away after surgery. Mind you, that kind of lets you know that Giselle didn't have nothing going on when it pertains to like her whole storyline, the whole entire season. Because why is it just GNA? GNA didn't happen to like the last 3 episodes of the season. So then for NECA, unfortunately, her IUI procedure was unsuccessful. And it says she and Ike will try IVF next, and they will be more romantic and not in the bathroom. Good for you. Ashley is actively dating, but she still ain't divorced Michael. She not going to divorce Michael because she don't want to live in a tent for the rest of her life. She says her deadline to sign the dotted line by the end of the year has come and gone. Not NECA, Mia. So we get to Mia. They do their speech. We don't even get a thing for Mia. So that's how we know it was more to come. It's 3 months after the season has wrapped, and they're in G and Mia's penthouse, and it's awkward and very like, if even through the TV, it felt weird, and it felt like a little like, it felt uncomfortable pretty much. It felt awkward and uncomfortable. So she walks out the room and she's asking Gordon, like, what's up? Gordon got an attitude. Somebody knocks at the door, and I guess Mia ordered food. And she was like, I'm tired of sleeping in Gigi's room. Like, when are you leaving? So we find out that Gordon and Mia are separated, that Gordon is back in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that Mia has been living like in the penthouse. But, Gordon relegated her to her daughter's room so he could sleep in the main bedroom. So they're going back and forth. Gordon got an attitude. Gordon got such an attitude. And so I took notes. Basically, Gordon and Mia pretty much separated, I think, around November. Or no, Gordon said he wouldn't, because Mia's like, when are you leaving? And he said November the 8th or the 10th. And then she was like, okay, what can we do to figure out? We have to start figuring out a system for ourselves since we're in this new chapter in our life. And Gordon is like, you didn't really think about that before you decided to get a divorce. And he was like, I know you've been having an affair on me for the past 10 years. You had an affair on me before the marriage and an affair on me like while during the marriage. Mind you, I'm like, then why'd you marry her if she cheated on you before you got married? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And then Gordon gets mad. He was like, you've been cheating on me with ink. So that's Mia's boyfriend. That she be toting around like a handbag. He was on Watch What Happens Live with her. And I was like, what is he doing here? Every time the camera panned to him, he froze. Like he looked like a deer caught in headlights. So Ink is like, the guy's name is Ink. Mia says they were high school sweethearts, that he's always been there for her, that pretty much like when she got with Gordon, she left Ink to be with Gordon. Gordon talks about how he got prostate cancer at 70 and, things weren't working down there. And he told Mia that she could, date other men or be with other men. He only had 2 rules. Don't have that person around the kids and be discreet about it. She broke both rules because the kids have been around Ink, as well as she wasn't discreet about it. So he brings up that the little girl is like, why is mommy trying to replace you with Mr. Ink? And so Mia's like, and she was like, yeah. So then Mia's like, well, Gordon, you gave me your blessing. You said it was okay for me to do that. He said, yeah, but you didn't follow my rules. So then production asked G as he walks out the room, he was like, so what about this open relationship? And G says again, she had 2 rules to follow and she didn't follow them. We then find out that Mia had left and went to Las Vegas without her phone because Gordon took her phone for 2 hours and then I guess locked her in a room. I said, how'd he lock you in the room? And what's going on over there? And so she was like, that's not fair. So when she said the locking in the room, Gordon gets up. He was like, I'm not talking to you, Mia, because you're not being honest. And so next thing you know, Mia and him start going back and forth. So then Gordon says Mia has said Ike was her safe zone and her soulmate. Jeremiah might not even be my kid. He might be Ike's kid. And then Mia was like, that's not fair, Gordon. And that's when Gordon says, if you want fair, you should have went to a carnival, Mia. And so then they asked Mia in the confessionals, did you and Gordon get a paternity test? And she said no. She got pregnant around the time that she was messing with Ike and Gordon. But Gordon said he would love the kid like it's his own. So they're going back and forth, she said, so then Gordon brings up how he knows Mia's been sleeping around with Ike all this time. And he was like, the kids tell me that you be sleeping in bed with Mr. Ike. Like, girl, I'm not, the kids I said the kids are snitching. The kids are snitching. So then Mia says in her confessional, I think she was like, Gordon was really mad about the trailer that came out when, Ashley and Mia were arguing in the DR, and Mia said, I think you married Michael for his money. And then Ashley's like, did you marry Gordon for his? And Mia said, probably. No, I think she said possibly or maybe. And then that's when Karen was like that, like you really said the quiet part out loud. So then that's when Gordon went to TMC with the whole, and we talked about that on the channel too, where he went to TMZ talking about the whole gold digger thing and all of that stuff. And Mia's like, I'm sick of you slandering my name. Like you've been getting money off of me. Mind you, I think Mia, because Mia be lying so much. So in my mind, this is what's happening. I think they had money, but Mia started making a lot more than Gordon. And then when Gordon got into it with his family and they cut him off, she's now the breadwinner and footing the bill in the family. And my thing is that's what you're supposed to do. You've been living off of his money for 10 years. You should be trying to help him out. You know what I mean? But then again, I don't really feel that bad for Gordon because you knew what it was. You got with somebody who was a lot younger than you, out of the strip club. You know what it is. And the word on the street is that Gordon left his wife for Mia. So it's like, You get what you give, bro. So then Mia starts talking about how Gordon started changing. She didn't think he should get into a fight with his siblings and sue them. She said Gordon's not taking accountability. She doesn't believe in this legal battle. She said that if she was really with Gordon for money, then she would have left like 7 or 8 years ago. He was overly spending their money at the strip clubs. She said she felt like she was losing herself and she wanted to move on, and find herself and find somebody that poured into her. Then Gordon contradicted himself because at the table he said, I will stay together for the sake of the kids. But then by the end of the conversation, he was like, if someone gives me separation papers, I told you, Mia, I'm never going to hold on to somebody. If they want to go, they want to go. I said, Gordon, you're not making sense. You're not making sense. Because then Gordon gets mad and tells Mia, you just told me you were screwing him 2 days ago. And then the whole thing is a mess. And I don't know how much of this I believe because I told y'all Mia is affected with diabetes. And she been carrying that man around. And something about Ike gives me opportunists. And I feel like this might be a scheme set up by all three of them because you got Gordon on the reunion trailer like saying hi to the side dude. So and he's having Mia's back the whole entire time they're at the reunion. So I feel like they are trying to do anything to stay on this show. I do think it's messed up for Gordon and Mia to like play games with the paternity of that little boy. Like, that's not something to play with. But I think someone said they watched Carlo King's interview and he was like, the boy Ike said that them kids not his. Like, him and Mia weren't. So somebody lying. They all probably lying. But that's honestly how the episode ended, with Gordon saying, like, if someone gives me separation papers, I'm not holding on to them, even though you are. Because that doesn't make sense to me to marry somebody that you knowingly knew cheated on you before you got married, and then was cheating on you for 10 years while y'all been together, and y'all only been married for 10 years. That makes no sense to me, bro. So it makes me feel like you knew what the setup was. Like, you had prostate cancer. It don't work no more down there, and you just wanted somebody pretty on your arm, and you were okay with footing the bill, but now that you can't, she dipping out, and you upset because you don't like the man she with because he been there the whole entire time like a shadow. Girl, I don't know. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and definitely hop down in the comments below and give me your thoughts on this episode, on the season, and what we talked about in the spicy corner. And I'm out, y'all.